I thought Bam and Norm took over the game the last 5 minutes, but we hung in there. A couple stretches of the game where we went cold really hurt us, and then the turnovers, we had maybe 4 of them, like where they pressured us on inbounds, and we weren't able to, get the ball up the floor cleanly. Those possessions really hurt, and give Miami credit, they put a lot of pressure on us.
I know these turnovers aren't necessarily related to who you guys are, longer term as a team, but how concerned are you about just the overall turnover situation that you guys have, and how, as you go into a week with a lot of practices, how much will you hammer that?
I'm very, very confident that we will get that turned around. We got it turned around last year after we got Jimmy, cut our turnovers way back. So that's going to be the focus when we get home. We're 8-0 when we win the turnover battle, and I think 1-8 when we don't. So it's pretty clear cut. We have to do a better job of, as coaches, of giving the guys better, spacing and cutting and teaching it better so that the decisions become easier. And then they've got to do a better job of just making simple decisions.
This was the 17th game in 29 days. Is there a sense of relief or solace knowing that the schedule is going to lighten up at some point? You get 5 coming up at home.
Well, there would be, except we have a game in 48 hours against Portland. So it's not like we have a break, but we do get to go home, and that's the big thing. We've only had 5 home games out of the first 17. So the schedule does turn our way, but we need to take advantage of it. We've got to get better.
Are there any data points that you feel like you collected on this 6-game trip as a group?
Well, there's plenty of data. There's plenty of film. I was just most pleased with, after that OKC game, just felt like our level of fight and competition was where it needed to be. And so we were able to, obviously split the 6 games on the trip coming off that beat down in OKC. And so I like where we are now, better as a team, but we have a lot of work to do.
Steve, kind of to that point, you were saying the other night in New Orleans that the sign of a connected team is like when Jimmy had the wide open layup, but he passed it to Steph to score. Could you also say that when you have a night like this where the veteran guys don't play, that especially Steph and Jimmy seem like throughout the game were connected to the other guys, talking to them, coaching them? Does that do something for the group when everybody is pulling
for sure
in a night like this?
Yeah, I could feel Steph and Jimmy on the sidelines. I felt their presence. At the meeting today, those 2 guys were giving advice, and I mean that's really important for our guys to to feel the support of their vets on a night like tonight when those guys are out and the young guys are the ones out on the floor fighting. And we're a connected team. We've got a good vibe, good group. Like I said, we've got some improvement to make on the floor, and that's the main thing.
Coach, what do you think is the solution with the problem with so many games? I mean, to avoid things like tonight, you have to bench key players. Where is the solution? Playing?
I wish I knew. Yeah.
A shorter season, maybe a shorter regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that the other night, but I don't think that's happening. So maybe extending the season by a week, just the calendar to fit the 82 games into an extra week. I don't know if that's something that would help, but it's a lot for sure. But that's what it is. So everybody's dealing with the same issue. Thanks.
Cool.